Hey everybody, it's time to swing. We're still swinging, and I'm your host Thomas. And today, family, we got Big Meech. He keep taking losses. You feel me? Rick Ross is definitely not a boss. Cuffy, listen, he a good dude, but he just not that sharp, and I'm gonna show you why. All right, is 50 Cent really that dude? Family, let's talk about it. First up, we gonna talk about Big Meech, family. Look, Big Meech, look, he got a larger than life personality. You know what I'm saying? He a certain kind of dude, family. You know what I'm saying? And that personality need to shine. And that personality can only shine if you win it. All right. You can't let that personality shine when you taking losses because the losses get magnified. You supposed to be somebody. You ain't supposed to be taking all these losses. First off, you got the Cuffy situation. All right. Now you got the 50 situation. All right. The show been canceled. All right. Yo, he taking all of these losses. They losses in his pocket. All right. Listen, let's let 607 Unc introduce y'all just to give you some insight on Cuffy because 607 Unc is from St. Louis and he know Cuffy personally.
What do you think about Big Meech getting out?
They're crazy. When I think about Big Meats, I gotta think about Cuffy. You know about Cuffy?
Yep.
Cuffy come from St. Louis, man. He gave Meech them $1 million. He like helped start BML. He owned the name of BML, and they stole that name from him and they snitched on him and sent him to jail. Right. So Meech out. So he need to really make good with that. He need to go get Cuffy. He need to go talk to Cuffy.
Yeah, I interviewed Cuffy,
Yeah.
and he's accusing Meech of
He ain't
cooperating.
accused. He got paperwork.
So yeah, I got Cuffy right here, man, St. Louis legend. You know what I'm saying? And I know people heard me speak about Meech's paperwork situation with
Plain and simple.
For you, and then you get there and the police there, and then Tammy Owens. Come on, gang. A snitch. Meech a snitch. Everybody know Meech a snitch. Right? Cuffy say Meech a snitch, he a snitch. I'm from St. Louis, gang. I ain't going against my own. What Cuffy got a lie for? What he got a lie for? Meech a snitch. But St. Louis know he a snitch. Right? Y'all run around praising this nigga. We don't do that. Not in St. Louis, because we know he a snitch. We believe Cuffy. St. Louis believe Cuffy. We stand behind our own, gang. Crazy how he set him up for a whole bunch of bricks and shit. Called him from jail. Remember, called him from jail, we got 200 bricks for you, and then you get there and the police there? And then
Family, you ain't supposed to be running no caper with Meech. Meech doing 30 years in the penitentiary. All right, listen, Cuffy should have knew better than that. Cuffy a veteran. Cuffy seasoned out here. Cuffy older than me. Cuffy been out here all his life, just like me. You understand? And when you've been out here this long, you very familiar with men crossing men. All right, listen, in the situations that men cross men in the most. All right, this one of the biggest situations when a dude got a problem and law enforcement in the mix. This one of them situations, you can't trust them. This one of those situations, you better not trust them. And he's sitting on 30 years. Come on, family. You know you don't go and run no caper with nobody that's serving 30 years in the federal penitentiary. You're going to end up giving him your bump.
and Tammy Owens? Come on, gang. Come on, gang. Hold
I'm sorry, family. You're going to end up taking his bump. He going to take your place on the street, and you're going to take his bump.
time. Come on, gang. Yeah, it's true. You gotta talk to Cuffy to know it, right? I talked to Cuffy, I talked to his daughter. Cuffy's daughter fucked up about it. She go for being rich out there fucked up, like ain't nobody trying to help her neither. Right? So she be fucked up what really be happening behind the scenes, but everybody praising Meech, right? And I ain't got no problem with Meech. I think he should just holler at Cuffy. Cause it don't be sounding right. And Cuffy got paperwork. So if you got paperwork, you got paperwork.
Yeah, I mean there's paperwork, but
It's paperwork. Meech a snitch. I'm not saying he a snitch, but
See, it's always going to be that but because it's paperwork, but he Meech. He Meech. Listen, Meech would be having way less problems if he would have never came on and addressed it. All right. As long as he would have been acting like he would have been bigger than the problem, he would have been able to hold it off a little longer. But when he came and did this,
Address this, because I'm not trying to let nobody trick me off the streets. But I never folded, never told, never will. Death before dishonor, always with me. So I'm doing this for my loved ones and the support of my friends and family to come out to the
family, once you start addressing this, all right, you know you can't stop addressing this. He can't stop addressing this. He done already started addressing it. All right, listen, you're not trying to let nobody trick you off the streets. Bro, how many dudes you seen came home from prison and doing interviews? Plenty of them. How is that gonna trick you off the streets? It's not. All right, you think that's a smoke screen and something you can just say, and you can't just say that because people not gonna go for that, and you ain't do it. Maybe we thought you was gonna come on here and say you done it. We know you're not gonna say you done that. All right, it ain't no way in hell Big Meech gonna say he done that. He gonna deny that. Death before dishonor, that just means he'll die before he tell you the truth. He ain't gonna tell you what happened. All right.
We say he a snitch, gang. And I don't want no problem with BMF, because I'm BMF too. Right? But I gotta keep it real. I gotta keep it real. On GD. On Larry David.
So you know Cuffy?
Yeah, I know
Fair use, family. Fair use.
Cuffy. I know Cuffy. Listen, man, Cuffy from St. Louis. Everybody, he gave Meech $1 million. He started, well, he ain't started BMF, but BMF ain't had no money to get that pack. He gave him that pack. And he always around, right? Even when, you know, that one dude from St. Louis, what's his name? He's got out of jail again. Ooh, what's his name? He the underboss, Junior, JR. What's his name?
JR.
What's his name?
Business. Oh, no.
No.
You see what I'm saying, family? Cuffy was a good dude. All right, he was a real good dude, a genuinely good dude. You feel me? And he trusted people. All right, you can see what kind of dude Cuffy is. All right, that's why you know that's how I know personally. He not lying. Family, he just not that sharp. And I'm gonna show you why. All right, I'm gonna show you exactly why Cuffy is not that sharp. All right, he listen, bro. He a good dude. He know the right people. He make the right connections. But he real trusting in a game where you can trust nobody.
J-Bo. Yeah, they put J-Bo in the trunk. He told me about that. When they put J-Bo in the trunk. All right, they put J-Bo in the trunk, had him in the trunk, and they made Meech pay to get him back. And Meech paid to get him back and shit, because J-Bo was running around selling dope in the Blue Myers. And then he couldn't sell dope down there. They kidnapped him and put him in the trunk and made Meech pay him back. And so Meech ain't had the money. And so that's when he gave Meech the $1 million to go do the shit. Because Meech had to pay to get J-Bo back. So Meech ain't had the money for the plug. And so he had to pay the plug back for Meech. He gave Meech $1 million. So I'm on. They had J-Bo out the trunk though. They should have left him in the trunk. I would have left him in the trunk. That's what I'm on.
Yo, 607 crazy, family. But look, check this out. That's the kind of dude Cuffy is. All right, you see Cuffy a good dude. All right, Cuffy gonna feed dudes. Cuffy, listen, he about his business. He trusted the wrong dude. Yo, this ain't a game of trust. You don't trust a dude, no dude doing 30 years in the federal penitentiary. I don't care if he your brother. I don't care if he your daddy, because if you know one thing above all, he want to get out. If you've been in the penitentiary before, you know exactly what I'm saying. Okay, listen, family, most of the guys that go to penitentiary, they're gonna go with nothing. He ain't got nothing, shit. He ain't got nothing. All right, so listen, he in a different situation than Meech. Most guys you talk to that's gonna give you their feedback, they gonna hit you with that spill. I'm gonna hit you with some real stuff real quick. When you sitting in that cell, in that federal prison, and all these nice things you built and this beautiful life you gave your family, you sitting in that cell, they losing it. They losing all of this stuff. Because this nice life that you gave them, you the only one that can afford to keep it. And they got you stuck in that box and you just want to get out. Can you imagine what Meech was going through? Cuffy King, because he been there before. So he already knew what Meech was in that cell going through. Everything Meech was losing it, sitting in that box. Family, you don't go do business with no man who doing 30 years in a federal penitentiary. You just don't do nothing that's stupid. You don't go run a caper with a man who in a situation like that. You go do something like that, you're going to come back whining. I promise you, you're going to get what you're looking for. Because a man doing 30 years in a federal penitentiary, he can't be concerned for nobody's situation but his own. He can't be concerned for yours. Are you serious? He can't consider nobody else in a situation like you facing 30 years in the federal penitentiary. Listen, your old lady, she banging another dude. You gotta eat that. All the stuff that you built, all your luxurious things, you losing them. You spending money, you not making none. You sitting in this box. Everybody that owe you money gonna forget about you. They not paying you that. You got 30 years in federal prison. They ain't paying them tabs. Ask anybody. You ain't gotta take my word, just take my word for it. You go to let the feds lock you up. All those dudes that owe you big money gonna get missing on you. You ain't getting none of that money soon as they hear the FBI got you. Straight up, Meech was going through all of that, trust me. And he had to go through that for the next 30 years. He trying to get out. Cuffy knew all Meech had to gain if he could just get out. Cuffy knew Meech was sitting in that box losing everything. All right, you know what Tammy had to gain? Listen, family. Tammy wasn't working off no case. Tammy ain't never been in trouble in her life. The only thing she had to gain was this money. Meech Life Rights, CEO of BMF. You know all BMF was slated to have going on? Family, you sitting in a penitentiary and you doing 30 years in a penitentiary, you will give somebody all of that to get out. Trust me, you ain't worried about no shit like that. All you need to do is touch down. You'll get all of that back. You ain't never gonna be worried about nothing like that. Family, look, I'm kicked out of the algorithm, so it ain't gonna be many people in here, but I gotta do my show. So we gonna keep it moving, all right? But look, let me explain something to you. Cuffy, a seasoned veteran. Cuffy been out here. He been out here longer than me. He seen men crossing men his whole life. And he always know the situations that they gonna cross you in. And a situation like Meech is the situation when they always start crossing people. That's why when people like, yo, Meech, hot, Meech told, you think that surprised me? I've been seeing this all my life. Meech ain't King Kong. You're stuck in that, he's stuck in that box. His old lady, they banging other dudes. He gotta eat that. All them dudes that owe him big money, they took off. All that stuff he built, that beautiful, luxurious life for his family, they losing it. They losing it. All this stuff he got, he's sitting in this box losing it. Cuffy know this. He been there before. And you know, all you want to do is get out of there. You feel where I'm coming from? Family, it's not that hard of a decision to make. You don't go run no caper with no dude in a situation like that. You asking for a problem and you're going to be like Cuffy. You're going to come back whining. See, let me look, take a shout out, a look at Cuffy. All right, this, in case you don't know what a third party cooperation is, family, follow me, and I'm gonna show you how Big Meech got Cuffy. He knew Cuffy was just a loyal dude, but he wasn't the sharpest knife in the drawer. He was real trusting. Even though men showed you time and time again, you don't trust them out here. I don't care if you, family, there's plenty of dudes I love. I love them to death. I mean, I mess with them hard body, but I don't trust them. No way. I know better.
Black and brown communities. Third party cooperation is where myself, I can call and have one of my niggas or a bitch, you know what I mean, to go out and set a motherfucker up. Any event, I will receive a time cut. It's called third party cooperation.
I also get lots of questions about Rule 35 on a third party basis. What is third party cooperation or proxy cooperation? Third party cooperation is when, instead of the defendant in the federal case cooperating on his own behalf, the government would agree to allow some third party, usually somebody that the defendant knows or has some former dealing with, to cooperate on his or her behalf. What happens here is that the third party, who would be the cooperator, is working usually with the Drug Enforcement Administration to set up a controlled buy or do a reverse sting or something like that that would benefit the government. In exchange for that, the defendant on whose behalf the cooperator is doing the work would get a sentence reduction.
This is what Meech, Big Meech,
All right, family. So look, that's a third party cooperation. That's what third party cooperation is. And look, Tammy was the third party. Okay, listen, we know Cuffy not lying. All right, because Tammy is the only person that he got in common with Meech and Suarez. Okay, Tammy was the liaison. All right, she did the leg work for Meech. But you see how crazy funny the government is? They ain't let him out. They wasn't gonna let him out. They wasn't cool with letting Meech out. Listen, they might have been better off with it if they was going to let Meech out and everybody was going to know he done that to get out. But ain't nobody, they not, listen, if you know the federal government, they wanted Meech to rot. That's why they ain't let him out. They wanted him to rot. Now follow the story, family.
Demetrius Flannery, known as Big Meech, and Tammy Collins, known in the paperwork as CS1. CS1 stands for Confidential Source Number 1. Whenever there's a 1 behind the CS, that's the person who started the case.
Okay. So that
when you see CS1, that's what it stands for. Confidential Source Number 1.
So another thing, let's clarify for these people that you not a Johnny come lately as far as your relationship with Big Meech.
No. Listen, man, we go back to we were really damn, we were children for real, but we were young men. We were 22, 23 years of age. I'm 56 years old right now, and so is Big Meech, the Meech is Flannery. So our relationship go back over 30 years. You feel me? So I know we got a lot of niggas that's now jumping on their bandwagon and doing whatever they do. I'm a day one nigga.
Family, whenever you like that with a dude, you always gonna be he the most of a danger to you. He got the most trust from you. That's when you can't trust them the most. Okay, Meech doing 30 years in the federal penitentiary. He can't set up none of his enemies. They ain't gonna come nowhere near him. He can't roll on nobody who don't mess with him like that. They gonna know better. He got to deal with somebody he trusts. Somebody who got big love for him and don't think he would do that to him. You got to always think he would do that to him, to you. You got to think he working. He doing 30 years in the federal penitentiary. Well, all he got to gain if he can just get out. Bro, you gonna go and run a caper with a man in a situation like this and your name Cuffy? You've been out here all your life, just like me. You've been seeing men cross each other your whole life. And you know the situations, they gonna cross you in the fastest. This that situation. This one of those situations. About that bread, he'll cross you. About that chick, he'll cross you. About that law enforcement, he gonna cross you. Family, if you've been out here, you've been in the mud. I know men. I know the evil that men do. This a dirty game. Filthy, grimy, wicked. Killers play this game. Thieves play this game. Muggers play this game. Crooks. You can't trust the goddamn crook. Family, the strong survive. The weak in there whining. Because a man gonna do what he feel like he gotta do. And he ain't gonna give a damn about what the streets gonna say. They gonna have to talk about that while he on the streets. Death before dishonor. You know how many men told me that they still out here? Each one of them supposed to be serving 150 years. They still out here talking about death before dishonor. Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay. Because let me tell you something. It's easier said than done. If you ain't never sat in that box with all this shit and you losing it. You losing everything. You watching your family suffer. You gave them this life. And you guys sit in this box and watch it go to hell. Because the only one that can maintain it is you. And you sitting in that box. I've been there. See, most of these dudes, they ain't got shit. They went to jail with nothing. They most of the dudes that's going to give you their input on the situation. Them dudes snatching pocketbooks. You know what I'm saying? Stealing out of 7-Eleven, smuggling donuts out the donut shop, trying to break in a joker house, and doing petty shit. They the dudes that's going way in. He don't got nothing. He ain't got nothing. He got a better life in jail. Because when he free, he not gonna eat 3 times a day, and he know it. If he gotta feed himself, he ain't gonna eat no damn 3 times a day, and you know it. He might not know where he gonna stay tonight. But in jail, see, they the kind of people who gonna be talking to you. Them jokers trying to rob a cab driver. No, I'm telling you some real dude stuff. When you stuck in that box and you gave your family this life, and you got a hellified life out there. You live life like a rock star. Okay, you ever heard Neo's song, The Champagne Life? That's really your life. That's really Meech's life. And you think he trying to do 30 years in a federal penitentiary? Under any circumstances, if he got any way of getting out from under that thing, he not trying to do that. Let Cuffy explain further.
I'm a day one nigga, and I wanna clear up something. A question you posed to me last time was that people don't believe that I made Big Meech. I've never said I've made Big Meech. Let's make it clear. What I'm saying is that Big Meech has always been a money-getting nigga, but there's levels to this.
This call is from a federal prison.
The nigga never seen $1 million until he met me. He never seen $1 million.
Family, I ain't lying to you. I swear to God. When Meech came home, right? And I said, damn, why is Meech not doing interviews? Because I know his personality. Okay, I was like, hold up. He not doing a bunch of interviews. And then I kept hearing about this Cuffy. And now I know he don't want to answer these questions.
So no, I did not make them. And furthermore, I went off.
Family, when he start talking about that, trick him off the streets. All right, that's a smoke screen. He don't want to answer these questions. All right, because they some hard questions to answer, especially when you playing online. All right, family, it's a whole lot of evidence. I know, I'm not saying Meech did it, but I'm telling you, I know he did it. All right, I know this happened. Listen to it.
You know what I mean? This is my second go round dealing with these devils.
Okay.
You feel me?
Yeah.
So this nigga had a long run. They were without me. So no, I didn't make no one. And I want to also make something else clear, that I'm not trying to convince no one to believe.
Family, this Cuffy second go round. So he been in there before. He know what Meech was going through in that cell. All right. And family, listen to what I'm getting ready to tell you. You know, that's when men start crossing each other. All right. Whenever it's trouble. All right. Listen, Pac told you a long time ago, F friends, because in the danger, them niggas change. Yeah. Listen, when it's a problem, they change. All right. You don't trust no man. If you love him, that's cool. You like him a lot, he cool, but you can't trust him. You better know you can't trust him. All right, and in certain situations, you absolutely don't trust him. I'm telling you right now, Cuffy shouldn't even know what Meech's plans ever was. That still should just be a thought and a memory in his head. It ain't no way. He doing 27 years and he absolutely should be free. He should have never thought about running a caper with some dude doing 30 years in the federal penitentiary. That was stupid. And I would have never done nothing like that. Under no circumstances. I just know men too well. All right. I know 1,000 big Meeches, and I know you think I'm joking when I say that. Listen, they are the biggest. They as big as they could get you to believe they are. If he catching 10, he catching 100. If he catching 100, he catching a ton. He as big as he could get you to believe he is. They are the biggest once you get to a certain level, all of them. All right. So look, that's just how it go. But I'm telling you, they all got that personality, that larger than life persona. You see Big Meech, he in jail. He went to jail for 30 years simply because he wasn't cool with being rich. He needed to be famous. And that's why the feds was going to make sure he rotted. All right, that was their mission. The feds' mission was for him to rot in jail. That's why even though he did this, they ain't let him out. Okay, they was not going to let him out. They was going to find a reason not to let him out. They wanted him to rot. He put that billboard in downtown Atlanta knowing he was a D-boy. Everybody knew he was going to jail but him.
I have a duty and a code that I live by, that I'll die by. I don't break the code, my nigga. You feel me?
Yeah, and they vouching for you. Like, they vouching for you in the D, people in the A. Definitely people I talk to in the Lou, they vouching for you.
Family, let me give you a little spill on Southwest T and why Southwest T was so upset, even though they had a lot of the evidence against Southwest T. And Southwest T was on the phone. And they actually found contraband with Southwest T or his, you know what I'm saying, property. That's why Southwest T had such a big problem with me. You know how long Southwest T been living like that and doing that? It was all good until Meech brought all that attention to them. Yo, you know how long Southwest T been running his operation. It was all good until Meech needed to be famous. That's why Southwest T stopped messing with Meech, because Southwest T knew they was D-boys. Southwest T said, Meech, we D-boys. We don't supposed to be famous. So he stopped messing with Meech. But he already in it. He BMF. And guess what? He one of the heads of BMFs, the two Flannery brothers. He the other half. You can't separate yourself from him, not in the eyes of the FBI. No, you can't. So listen, check this out. Everybody gonna be leveraged whenever you're dealing with the federal government. Okay, yeah, they had all the evidence against Southwest T, but Meech put law enforcement on them. That's what Southwest T problem was. Southwest T was like, look, bro, you know how long I've been running my operation? We ain't had no problems until you needed to be famous. He put a billboard in downtown Atlanta. Everybody knew he was going to prison except him. He really thought, yo, do you know the federal government looked at that billboard and said, okay, challenge accepted.
Hey, yo, listen, Slim. Niggas fuck with me, man, because I don't break the code, man. You know what I mean? I ain't got no sight. I ain't got no monetary gains with what I'm doing. It's my duty as a real nigga to set a fuck nigga out for some foul shit. You feel me?
It's the code. It's the code.
It's the code, my nigga, and I live by that, man. I don't violate the code, man. What the nigga did is foul. You feel me?
Now, another thing I guess I want to touch on is explain to these people how Tammy Cowens came into play. Or how
Tammy Cowens was originally an old girl. Well, I ain't gonna say a girlfriend. Somebody that Blue Da Vinci was smashing. So Blue had threw her to Meech to handle his little fan mail and just handle his little runarounds. She eventually came to have Demetrius Flannery's life rights.
All right, family. So we know. All right, Tammy not working off no case. She ain't never been in trouble in her life. What was in it for her? Monetary gain. The bag. She was chasing the bag. That's why she done it. Listen, she just a spinner. You don't give a spinner your life rights and the CEO of your company. She was supposed to get him out of jail. She was the one who was supposed to get him out. And to get out of jail, if you ever been sitting in a federal prison for any amount of time, you will give her all of that to get back out. You ain't worried about none of that. All you need to do is touch down. You will get all of that back in spades. You know who you are. The problem is you got to get out. How do you get out? You got to give her your life rights. You got to make her CEO. You got to give her a big bag. You got to make her an offer she can't refuse. Because it ain't no way that girl would have got involved in something like this. All right, she was chasing a bag, family. That bag that Meech gave her. She came in possession of all of this stuff because she was supposed to be the one to get him out. And if you ever been in prison, let alone the federal penitentiary, for the next, and you're going to be here for the next forever, 30 years, you'll give her all of that to get out, family. That's what was in it for her. All right, she ain't going to do nothing like that on the strength. You lost your mind? Meech, who you think you're going to get to ever believe that?
That's how she became CEO of BMF Entertainment.
Okay.
Like I want your audience to go to Georgia Secretary of State. Look up BMF Entertainment and see who's the CEO, a government informant. So the nigga 50 Cent, you doing business with a government informant. You know it, I know it, Big Meech know it.
And that's also causing them.
See, what I'm saying is this, fam. Big Meech, he out here lying. All right, Big Meech, he would have grabbed a bigger bag if he would have just told the truth. See, but he lying, he gotta hide. He gotta hide because he don't want to answer these questions hard. These questions ain't gonna be nothing light. You know Meech personality. I know his personality. He likes camera action, family. This dude's extra quiet for nothing. It ain't for nothing. He ain't trying to answer these questions about this guy right here. This guy named Cuffy. This guy who been nothing but that, you know what I'm saying, a great dude to meet. But he need to understand, he made a grave mistake. He in the penitentiary. He's serving 27 years and he absolutely should not be. All he had to do was be sharper. Family, it don't take a rocket scientist. He been in that cell before. He been in that cell having things. He know what Meech was losing sitting in that cell. He know Meech would have gave his right arm to get out. You think he ain't gonna give him you? I'm telling you, fam, that guy not supposed to know that Meech was trying to set him up. Yo, this just supposed to be a distant memory because you don't go and run no caper with a man who's serving 30 years in the federal penitentiary. You gonna come back whining, I promise you.
Between the family.
Between him and the rest of his family, because what they saying to the nigga is, yo, this broad is hurting our brand. You feel me? And you ain't heard one word from the nigga about this situation.
Yeah.
You feel me?
Nothing. And his name is clearly on your paperwork.
His name is in the paperwork, man. This woman testified. This woman testified in a court of law that she became a DEA informant to give Demetrius Flannery a time cut. You feel me? It don't get any clearer. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I know most niggas don't understand paperwork. So I mean, and that's crazy to me because you niggas call yourself street and you out in the streets, but you don't understand what these white folks are doing. That's crazy to me.
And I'm gonna attribute a lot of that to maybe they never dealt with the system, but that's what we here for, to educate them, I guess, on that, because all you got to do is follow the dots with this one, because that's when we bring up you, we have to bring up a guy by the name of Suarez.
Fidel Suarez. Fidel Suarez met Demetrius Flannery in the county jail. He's a cartel member out of Los Angeles. Super good dude. Fidel beat the feds in trial and went home. But he exchanged information with Big Meech and was trying to help him. Whatever he needed, you know what I mean? Dude was down for that. Okay. So Big Meech and Tammy was initially trying to target Fidel. You feel me? So in the course of me and Tammy discussing Meech's movie rights and me seeking out a deal for a movie and me providing a script for a movie, the DEA got wind that I was in contact with Tammy and they turned the investigation toward me.
You feel me, family? You see why I tell you that Cuffy's slow? He not sharp. Family, Suarez is an informant. Suarez is working. How didn't he know that? He just called him a super good dude, and the dude is working. That's the only way he got out of this case, family. They would have never let that dude out of this case. He a bigger catch than Cuffy. He the supplier. And they had him dead bang in business with him. He was already working. He didn't beat the feds. That's the story he gave you. When he got caught with that load, he been working ever since. I got a subscriber who gave me a comment and was like, yo, I watched what you said about Suarez and I went looking for him. And you can't find nothing on him. I said, you ain't had to tell me that. I knew you wasn't going to find nothing on him. He working. If he beat the feds, it would be a matter of public record. If Suarez beat the feds in trial, it would be a matter of public record. So dudes can research the case and find what he used to beat the case. It would be a matter of public record. But you can't find nothing on it because they shut all his records down. He working. That means he working. He been working ever since he got caught with that load. How do you think he a super good dude? If he was a super good dude, he would have been on that indictment with you. Family, now I understand how Tammy knew the routes. Because I'm saying, how would Tammy know the routes? Meech in prison, he don't know the routes. Meech couldn't have gave her the routes. Cuffy damn sure wouldn't have gave her the routes. Because when you a D-boy, you know you don't give nobody no information they don't need. She ain't got no reason to know the routes. And if she would have asked anything about the routes, he would have got suspicious. She ain't transport nothing. She don't have no reason to know the routes. Now I know how she know the routes. She didn't know the routes. Suarez gave them the routes. And they just told them it came from Tammy. Because they already had him. They ain't need Suarez to get Cuffy. They had Cuffy. So it ain't no reason to let Suarez out of the bag. Suarez still working. He's still a good working tool they using. Okay, Suarez operating on the other side of the border and this side of the border. They using him. Tammy would have never knew the routes, family. And Suarez would have been on that indictment with Cuffy. He the supplier. And you said he beat him in trial. Family, John Gotti Jr. beat him in trial. You saw what they did to him, right? They took him to trial 3 times on the same case. They got a sick vendetta. He had to go get found not guilty 3 times for the same case. That's how sick their vendetta is, the feds. And you telling me he beat them in trial and got caught dead bang up in business with you, and they let him go because they heard your name. I know you tooting your own horn, and I know you think you the biggest. You ain't never nothing like that, homie, because he bigger than you. He your supplier. They would have never let him go. There's only one way he got out of that indictment. He working. They know his handler. But you believe he is super good dude. You see what I mean when I say Cuffy not sharp? Cuffy slow. Cuffy not sharp. I just broke it down to you. There's no way he don't supposed to know this. It's no way you don't know you don't go run no caper with no man who's serving 30 years in the federal penitentiary. All right, you don't do that. You just don't make a mistake like that. Not with everything you got at stake. It's too much to lose there, no matter what you think it is to gain. You feel where I'm coming from? Family, you don't make no move like that. Yo, Cuffy a vet. He not no kid. All right? If he was a rookie, I could understand it. That's not who Cuffy is. Cuffy seasoned. He been out here. He been watching men cross men his whole life. And he know the situations men gonna cross men in the most. This one of them situations, fam. A man serving 30 years in a federal penitentiary don't mean nobody no good. Not when he got all the game, if he could just get out, as Meech got. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I've been in that box before. You're going to be losing everything. You ain't one of them dudes that came in here with nothing. See, most of these dudes, they came in here with nothing. They don't have nothing. See, the dude with the most to lose is always the dude you got to watch the hardest. Family, the game's supposed to taught him that. Yo, you ain't supposed to be still making rookie mistakes like that when you seasoned like Cuffy. Family, you don't go do business with a man serving 30 years in the federal penitentiary. You asking for trouble. You know you are. I don't care what his name is. Whatever his name is, you know one thing above all. He want to get the hell out of there. Family, you go to jail with nothing, it's a different story. Most of them dudes go to jail with absolutely nothing. They live better in jail. When he out here, he not going to eat 3 meals a day. Not if he got to provide them to himself for himself. See, in jail, toilet paper free. All he got to do is make it to the phone and beg. They the kind of dudes that want to give you their input. Dudes who ain't never going to be able to help nothing or nobody. They ain't the kind of dudes you want to be listening to. You don't want to be a loser out here, and you're going to be listening to a bunch of losers. I'm telling you, you take that attitude, you're going to be a Cuffy. Because you better know. Yo, these streets is filthy, grimy, wicked, dirty. Bro, this is a dirty game, filthy, nasty. Yo, I've been up close and personal with evil men. I've been up close and personal with some good dudes that'll flip a switch and turn into a whole nother person on you. In a heartbeat. Because a man gonna be who he gotta be to survive whatever situation he in. This how Meech thought he needed to go about surviving it. When a man got 30 years in the federal penitentiary, he can't have no concern for your situation. He can't. He can only have some for his own. He can have no consideration for your situation. And if you believe he do, okay, you gonna come back whining, I promise you. Cuffy was supposed to know better, family. He trusted Meech in the situation that Meech was in. Meech in that situation where all men start crossing each other. And you went and decided you're going to run a caper with a man who's serving 30 years in the federal penitentiary. Because his name Meech. Maybe you think that means he the Incredible Hulk. Maybe you think his situation different from everybody else's, and he ain't in there like all the rest of the ballers, losing everything. Family, you know the situation Meech was in? I do. All right? Meech was losing everything in there. He needed to just get back out. If he could just get out, that's how Tammy got his life rights. That's how he signed his life away. No, and I know Z Bike Life, ain't nobody perfect. I ain't saying Cuffy was supposed to be perfect, but that was a rookie mistake that could have been easily avoided with just a better decision. And I know he trusted Meech, but when you've been out here as long as we've been out here, you know, I don't care how much you love him, you don't trust him. Absolutely not. You know better. Life taught you already about trusting men. All right, listen, my family. I trusted my family. You listen, when you've been out here like we've been out here, bro, you know better than to put your trust in a crook. We all crooks. We all are dinner thieves. All right, I'm telling you right now. And a man gonna wrap his arms around his situation the way he gonna wrap his arms around it. You make sure he can't wrap around his arms around you with that situation. When a man serving 30 years in a federal penitentiary, holler at him when he get back. I don't care how he feel about it. That's not a good idea. Anything he need, I'll make sure he got that. Send word. You know, man, you know I ain't hard to find. And you know I'm going to make sure you get it. But don't be calling and when I'm in the federal, I don't call and talk to nobody. Yo, go around there and tell him I said send that. I need something. That's it. That's it. Because I'm miserable. I'm miserable. I want to get the hell out of here. I don't want to talk to nobody. I don't even want to get tempted. You feel me? Because I know some dudes that are probably do it with me if I say it. Because they believe in me like that. They the ones who gonna cross you. I've been out here my whole life, all of it. You better not trust them. You trust them if you want. You're gonna regret it, I promise you. Family, I understand you love them. I love my dogs, all right? I love them to death. Trust them? No, not one of them. I know better. Life taught me some things. All right, family, my life is a lesson. And my analytics is off the charts. My assessment of danger like a rabbit's. I know when to beat it. See, the biggest weapon you got in this game is not a gun. It's a secret. A secret is the biggest weapon you got in this game. A man can't plot against something he don't know shit about. You start flashing money, they know you got something. See, they know I got some money because they know I'm handling. The streets got to know I'm handling just for me to be able to get it off. Family, you got to keep the sharp niggas guessing. Because they out here like you out here. They predators like you a predator. You got to be sharper than him. If you want to stay out here, you better be sharp. You better be thinking. All money ain't good money. His money more problems than it's going to be worth. Yeah, I know he get to it. He just like me. But when a man has it to himself, he has it to everybody around him. And you don't want to be around that has it when it's spilled. I'm telling you. And a man doing 30 years in the federal penitentiary is a goddamn hazard. If I ever seen one, stay away from him. Yo, Cuffy did not have to be here. Yo, Cuffy did not. He ain't even supposed to know this was Meech intentions. This supposed to be just a thought in passing and him remembering that. He's supposed to be giving Meech a 5 in a bag. Not even knowing Meech was trying to send him. That's how this supposed to be going right now. Cuffy's supposed to have been sharper than that.
got
So
off.
that's why Fidel Suarez's name is in the paperwork.
Ah, okay, and that make a lot of sense. And I guess, kind of going back to that previous conversation, you were working on the script with MC Hammer's brother, trying to place what they showing now almost on Stars.
Family, I feel bad for Cuffy, but guess what? That ain't gonna help him. I feel bad for Cuffy. And Meech ain't get shit out of it. He still stayed in jail. That's how much the government wanted him to rot. They wanted to give him life. They thought he was going to try to go to trial when they offered him that 30 years. He was smart. He was a fool, but he wasn't a damn fool, was he? Because they wanted him to go to trial. They thought that Kingpin thought since he was rich, he was going to try to fight him. Meech was smart. He knew better. He seen them take bigger dudes than him. And ain't gonna never let him back out of that place. See, it's like this, family. The feds is different. This ain't Superior Court. They ain't playing volleyball with you. See, in Superior Court, we could walk in there with our lawyers. We got bread, so we can fight the case. And we can whoop it. And U.S. District Court, that ain't gonna work. They don't care nothing about him. They indict his ass. I watched them do it. I watched them do it to Jimmy Henchman. They waited till Jimmy Henchman gave that dude all of that money, and then they indicted his lawyer, so his lawyer couldn't represent him. That's the kind of games they play. Yeah, I watched them break Jimmy Henchman. He was in MCC selling onions and green peppers. Straight up. That's how it is. That's how they do. Fam, them people treacherous. You don't want to get caught up in their mix. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. And Meech was caught up in their mix. Cuffy thought the thing to do would be go and run a caper with him. I don't care how much you love him. You can't trust him. He doing 30 years in a federal penitentiary. This ain't routine. And you know you don't do nothing with a dude that ain't routine. If I don't been hanging out with you, I ain't gonna start. I ain't been running no caper with you from prison. I ain't gonna start. I wonder, was he thirsty? Was he hurting? Was he in a bad situation? Because he's supposed to know better. Anyway, family, look. We moving right along. We moving right along. Listen, my man, listen. Oh my God. Rick Ross, I thought he was the man in Miami. All right? Listen, he keep talking this boss stuff. That's why I keep telling you, he as big as he can get you to believe he is. How in Miami can't you keep the show? And you Rick Ross and you on the bill. And nobody ain't have hell to pay from you for canceling the show, knowing all y'all had to prove at a time like this. What you thought you could distance yourself from this? Z Bike Life 305 said Ross do not have respect for yeah, Z Bike Life. No cursing in the chat, bro, because that's how I got kicked out of the algorithm. Hey, Z Bike Life, do me a favor, bro. Just erase that comment. No problem. I know listen, bro. You pull up here all the time. You my man. 20 grand. All right, matter of fact, hold up. I got it. Don't worry about it. But yeah, family, Cuffy, and Z Bike Life. I know. I feel you. Look, Cuffy. I know ain't nobody perfect, right? You feel me? And we all make mistakes. But he been out here too long to be making a mistake like that. That one was crucial. You feel me? Check them out.
We was going to do a motion picture. We had a deal on the table from Lionsgate Films. MC Hammer's brother name is Louis Burrell. This is my guy. This is my nigga. It's a Bay nigga, but he been out in L.A. and Hollywood forever.
Yeah, I did my research on him.
Yeah, that's my nigga. Super good dude. Been around forever. So I mean, he can contest all of this.
Wow. Yeah, it's a lot of sources out there that could confirm it, but really, if you paying attention and if you open your eyes.
See, family, this the thing about the streets, right? Being as though Meech is who he is, it ain't gonna do him no damage. Trust me. Listen, dude's gonna still be moving with him. You seen how 50 was moving with him until 50 got upset with him? And then 50 turned on the internet against him? Because 50 got the internet on lock. Bro, social media is everything today. See, Meech, we from the dinosaur age. We was around before the internet. You feel me? Where you actually had to go catch up with a dude. You had to go catch up with him. You couldn't just follow him. He from there. Now you could just follow a dude and you always with him. It's different. It's different. He got out in the world of social media. Listen, the government was not cool with Meech getting out. Not without everybody knowing how he got out. No, you will not think, they will not think you walked in here and beat us in some kind of way and got out. No, we want them to know you got out by cooperating if we gonna let you out. You're gonna give us this information and we still ain't gonna let you out. Cause look, let me that Tammy, look, check them out, fam.
Work.
And another thing your audience need to know.
This call is from a federal prison.
When I do these interviews, people say, well, damn, Cuff, how you know Tammy didn't get in any trouble? Tammy Collins has never been in any trouble. She has never been charged with anything. She's not from the streets. She's not about the streets. Demetrius Flannery put her up to this.
Yeah.
So this is what the government testified to in court, that she's cooperating with the DEA to set Cuff up to give Demetrius Flannery a time cut. It doesn't get any simpler than this, man. You feel me?
Yeah, and that's mind-blowing in itself, that somebody without a criminal record or, you know,
can be able to do this. Now we know that you can work off your sentence and things of that sort that other red niggas do, but this is an individual who's never been in any type of trouble. She was a fucking secretary at some office or something.
You feel me, family? So the only thing she had to gain was monetary. She was chasing a bag. That's why she done it. That's why she done it. She would have never got involved with something like this. She a spinner. You don't give a spinner your life rights. You don't make a spinner CEO of your company. She was supposed to have been the one to get him out of jail. That's how she came into possession of all that valuable stuff and didn't put no work in. She put some work in, family. They just ain't let them out.
So she's not from the street. She's never been charged with anything.
Wow.
You feel me? So this shit was new to the judge that was overseeing this case. You know what I mean? So she said, wait a minute, let me make this make sense. You mean to tell me that you signed up to be a DEA informant, to set a guy up to give a kingpin a time cut, and the government is okay with this? This is what the magistrate judge said in open court.
And now, briefly explain how that go into play with everything that happens with her and Keith Krummer. How that comes into play with your case.
Keith Krummer was the agent that started the case, but he tried to hide his hand. So the way that he hid his hand was he passed the case along to St. Louis DEA, who always had a bone to pick with me.
Okay.
So the reason why he hid the case and sent it down to the 8th Circuit, which is the St. Louis region, is because he had to try to hide his relationship. So the way that the relationship was brought to light was the Justice Department seized Tammy Cowan's phone. See, this is another thing that I found out, all the procedures that go and how you pay an informant and such and so forth. When they seized her phone, so once an informant completes his case and your guy is indicted, they have to turn over their phones and any other equipment of communication. Once that happened, they saw what she thought that she erased pictures and the text messages of her and Special Agent Keith Cromer. Pictures of them two in the bed naked.
Family, that happen all the time. They don't ever give nobody no rhythm on that. I'm telling you, family. I had a good friend of mine, all right, out of Virginia. Well, his case out of Virginia, his case out of West Virginia. He from New York, but one of his baby mamas in West Virginia, one of the agents on his case started banging her. Family. She had the agent go to the evidence room and steal $30,000 of her baby daddy money and bring it to her. That's how cold she was. All right. Once they found out, they just got rid of the agent. Listen, you know how many agents? It's a team of them on your case. They just gonna get rid of him and keep it moving because they gonna prosecute you. That ain't gonna stop nothing. The judge gonna just get rid of him. Whatever happened to him, happened to him. But it ain't gonna do nothing for you. But you see what they did? They used it to block Meech from getting out of prison. Family, they usually pay that no mind. Whenever a dude trying to use, if you research case laws, you're gonna see a lot of cases where an agent was banging a witness or informant. They just get rid of the agent and use the agents that's left on the case. It's not just one agent on your case. They're gonna still prosecute you. That ain't gonna change nothing. Family, he thought my friend and who case was out of West Virginia, he thought he was gonna he thought he was gonna get some rhythm because the agent was banging his baby mama. And they could prove he went to the evidence room and stole $30,000 of his money back and gave it to his baby mama. He ain't get nothing for that. All right, just the agent kicked off the case. All right, he copped out to that 22 years.
Okay.
Conversations back and forth. The Justice Department stopped my case to investigate Tammy Cowens and Special Agent Cromer, who was indicted and fired.
Oh, so he lost his job over that.
What? Yeah, that's criminal. Because you falsifying.
You see what I'm saying, family? That's a bunch of stuff that ain't gonna do nothing for you. They fire him. So what? They indicted him. So what? I still got 27 years. That don't do nothing for me. Who cares what they did to him? I needed to help my case.
Yeah, and I seen that shit went up. That shit went up some levels of court. That shit was like, it was almost like, I don't want to say they was having Supreme Court hearings on that shit, but that shit went up past regular court level.
Yes, it's very serious. A DEA agent can have no contact.
Keith Cromer got fired over that, and how serious of a offense that was, and that pretty much re-triggered your case. That brought your case back to life.
Well, I ain't gonna say it brought my case back to life. This happened before my...
You better not have said that, because I would have said you telling a damn lie, because it ain't never brought nobody's case back to life. It ain't never did nothing for nobody in nobody case. The family, that happened more often than you know. The reason why you never hear about it is because it never helped nobody. They just used it to keep Meech in jail because they didn't want to let him out. They was not about to let him out, and you didn't know how he got out. They wasn't with hiding how he got out. They was not about to do that. Knowing they ain't want to let him out, they wanted him to rot. That's why they didn't let Meech out. Okay? Because that agent banging that informant would have never did nothing in nobody else's case. They would have just kept it moving. But for Big Meech, they used it to keep him from getting out.
This happened during my prosecution. While
Ah.
I was in the county jail, this was going on.
So okay, a little bit, cause I know if I'm confused by it, or if I was confused, cause I'm fully in tune now. But
Family, look, I know it ain't many people in here, right? I'm kicked out of the algorithm. All right, look, I dropped a comment I shouldn't have dropped, and I'm kicked out of the algorithm even worse than I was last time. Last time I was at least streaming to 20 people. Yo, it's getting a little better, I see, because at first I was streaming to 4 and 5 people. It got up to 10 people in here today. I was surprised. So they loosening it up some, and my shorts going off. That's been saving me. But I just wanted to let y'all know, family, look, ain't gonna be many people.
was confused. Explain your situation and your conviction, because most people would see it like, well, he pleaded guilty, so how is
Well, we have to point to 97% of individuals in the feds are based on pleas.
okay, yeah.
It basically boils down to if you're going to trial, you're not going to be viewed by your peers, and that's one of the biggest discrepancies from going to trial in the state courts. You feel me? So it's no way for you to have a 97% conviction rate unless the deck is stacked. So of course I did, and the other couple 100,000 people that's sitting in the feds with me right now also.
Yeah, and excuse me.
Z Bike Life 305 said he know the truth about Big Meech baby mama, and you will know the truth. Hey, I can imagine. You know what I'm saying, bro? He was in there 20 years. I mean, I don't know, she was probably something while he was on the street. Family, we know how it go. Most of them you gonna meet in that life, family, you ain't gonna be able to keep them. But we just keep some of them anyway. All right, but listen, what can you do, family? Can't live with them, can't live without them.
Some circumstances around that surrounding your co-defendant and statements that almost forced your hand with that, because
they did force my hand. When the government saw that their case was in trouble, they indicted me on 2 homicides.
So I'm gonna try to explain. I got a good friend that just came home from a
family. When your woman smoking, dudes is at her. You better listen. If she bad, I'm on her. You already know how this go. All right, and she a kid in a candy store just like you. All right, cause you can have them. She can have them. It just get like that sometimes.
To 22 years and he got it cut to 11. But how he explained to me is how the feds work, and this is exactly what you're going to explain. So when they indict you, they know that 98% of the people are convicted. Once you put in, like, you're going to fight the case and you don't immediately cop out, that's when they come back and supersede you with multiple indictments and multiple different counts.
If they have the evidence. They first have to have the evidence.
Yeah.
You feel me?
Yeah, and now in your case, is that what happened with that situation? Did they kind of get you on one thing and come back when they noticed that you was going to fight it? They superseded you?
There you go. So when a case got in trouble, meaning that the agent and the government witness lost all credibility when a sexual relationship was revealed. It's illegal, it's immoral, and it kills all credibility. The justice system that we have is based on credibility. That's what it's supposed to be based upon. It's based on credibility. You feel me? Your veracity.
Okay.
Your credibility. And once that is gone, then you can't bring a prosecution. Because now you have committed what's called outrageous government misconduct, which is grounds for reversal.
Family, let me explain something to you. You know why he's still in there? Because they don't care about none of that shit. You still believe they care about your rights and they don't listen, bro, that is interpreted by the judge. Have you ever heard jury instructions in U.S. District Court? Bro, the only instructions you understand is the instructions to finding you guilty. You can't even understand the instructions to finding somebody not guilty. What did you just say? Listen, bro, they set that up so deadly. Yo, that's why if you've been around in their mix before, you know you don't want to get caught up in their mix. All right, these dudes talk about, yo, I'm ready for the feds. Yeah, take my bump. Tell them. Yeah, you ready? See, they listen. Why you think so many people tell? Because they ready for the feds until the feds come get them. They ready for the feds until it's time to be ready for the feds. Trust me, Meech thought he could do 30 years before he had to do 30 years. Family, every man got his breaking point. Usually men, when they pass their breaking point, is nothing they can do to help themselves. Most of the men in Meech's situation don't got the avenue that Meech had to even try his hand. Most of them don't. I told you, bro, most of them go to jail with nothing. He ain't got no information they want. He don't know nothing. He ain't privileged to nothing. He a nobody. He think he's somebody. He's somebody in jail. All right? But I'm telling you, family, that dude sell nickels. All right? He's standing on the block. He don't got nothing. That stuff, that what he got, man, he in the way. All right, he think he doing something. He gonna be in the penitentiary and he ain't gonna have nothing. That's a different situation from Meech's situation. Meech's situation, you don't go nowhere near Meech. That dude right there, you give his girl a couple ounces of weed. Look, get it to him. You know what I'm saying? Let him go do his thing. Whatever he need, he send word. You get it to him. But don't come calling me. Absolutely don't call me. I ain't never called you from nobody's cell. From nobody federal prison. Yo, I don't call nobody from no federal prison who don't got a split between their legs. I don't call my father. So if I ain't calling him, you know I ain't calling you. Family, when that avenue available to somebody with 30 years, most of them gonna take it. I don't care what the streets ever told you. They gonna be like Meech. Never folded, never told. Death before dishonor. Yeah, that's what it's going to be. Never folded, never told, death before dishonor. Like, listen, believe me, don't believe your eyes and your ears. That's what he just told us. Yo, Meech, wow. Meech came on there and said, never folded, never told, death before dishonor. You know what death before dishonor mean? That means he'll die before he tell you the truth.
Or vacatur of the charge.
Wow. 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 And that's the circumstances you're falling in under now. And I guess another thing we want to kind of briefly touch on is the ghost gun situation.
Yes. They use a theory called aiding and abetting.
Uh-huh.
You feel me? And I tell the people all the time about the 2 tiers of justice we have in the federal system. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
yeah. Enlighten.
So, yeah, well, but just basically, first of all, you going to trial, you won't be adjudicated or judged by juries or your peers.
Uh-huh.
So if you were in Philadelphia, they not drawing the jury pool from the city of Philadelphia. They going in outskirts Pennsylvania. So you're gonna have 12, 60, and 70-year-old white folks holding your faith in their hand when they've already came in with bias and prejudice of you and the people in the inner cities.
Before the case even started.
Before the case starts. That's the only way you're gonna have a 97% conviction rate in the feds.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's the only way. It's built-in bias and prejudice.
Yeah. So right now, I know we talked about a case the United States.
Family. I feel bad for Cuffy. Not sorry for him because he should have knew better. I feel bad for him though because he a good dude. You feel me? And he shouldn't be in that situation he in. You feel me? Like Cuffy was a valuable dude. Dudes was eating with Cuffy. All right, a dude like Cuffy, I think, you know what I'm saying? He deserved more respect than Meech gave him. You feel me? But Cuffy, he shouldn't have never trusted Meech. He should have knew better, family. Look, as always, family, it don't take much to be nice. We all gotta live on this planet together, walking in and out of each other's space. Respect is important. Look, Z-Bike Life 305. My man, listen, I had to get to the program tonight, but you know how we chop it up. And I seen your text and I seen your message. All right, look, family, thanks for pulling up. I don't know when I'm going to be back in the algorithm. I love y'all. Smash that like button. Subscribe if you're not a subscriber. Still swinging.